going to be solving by factoring. Remember, the way you solve by factoring is to use your zero product property, which means I somehow have to get one side equal to 0. So I'm going to get rid of this 27 on the right side by subtracting 27, and then I get x squared plus 6x minus 27 equals 0. And the way we solve a quadratic equation is by factoring. We talked about this in the last lesson. So I need to factor this. And you can see I have my last term is negative. The only way to get your last term as negative is to have x plus something and x minus something, and that's going to equal 0. So I need to find a factor of 27 that will add to 6x. When one's positive, one's negative. Well, I have 1 and 27 and 3 and 9. Okay? 27 and 1 don't work when I try plugging them in. If I plug in positive 9 minus 3, 9 times negative 3 gives me my negative 27. Positive 9 minus 3 gives me my 6x. So that's my answer for factoring it. This is what I would get, x plus 9 times the quantity of x minus 3. Now what I need to do, and this is going back to yesterday's lesson, you take each of these pieces, remember our zero product property tells us this, if either of these pieces is 0, the whole thing is 0. Which means I set the first piece equal to 0, and I set the second piece equal to 0, and I solve them separately. For the first one, you'd subtract 9 from each side, you'd get x equals negative 9. Second piece, you'd add 3 to each side, you get x equals 3. And, like we talked about before, when you solve by factoring, you almost always get two different answers. We'd get x equals negative 9 and x equals 3. The way you could check your solutions would be to plug them back in, see if you get the right answer. These are the correct answers, so we don't need to worry about checking them in this example. Big idea, to solve by factoring, you need one side to equal 0. Once you get that one side to equal 0, you factor the other side, and then because of our zero product property, if either of these pieces is 0, because they're being multiplied together, this whole thing would equal 0, so we take each individual piece and set it equal to 0.